Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby. I wanna look and feel years younger.
3, 2, 1. Dildos! That's an odd dildo, Harry. I'd get that checked out.
So we're having discussion because I randomly, what's his name? I just lost his name. What are the creators of Rick and Morty?
Justin
Dan
Norland.
Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon actually had a podcast where they got in a whole discussion about necrophilia, and I was like, oh hey, we're good on that topic.
We got that
Yeah.
on lock.
Yeah, we got that on lock.
Yeah. They're cutting into our territory.
They're cutting into our-
like
Sue adults.
we should email them and be like, hey, back the fuck off.
Hey, slow
All
down,
right?
buddy.
That's
We got
our spot.
There are dozens of us who listen to this.
Yeah.
How dare you? So one of the things he was talking about was, do you actually shame somebody for necrophilia when it's, you don't shame somebody for some kind of weird, perverse sexuality thing they have. Who's really being hurt with necrophilia? Should you shame people over being a necrophiliac?
That's an interesting question.
Or should you just allow it happen because there's no real victim?
Okay, here's the thing. I think, one, if the dead person has relatives and loved ones still alive, yes.
But that's not a
the
victim,
real question. Yes, they are.
How are they victims?
Because they actually have some connection to the corpse, okay? There's a reason they have funerals, and they go view the corpse, and they're like, I don't know what you do at funerals. I don't feel that way, but they do.
No.
They do feel
We're
that
asking,
way.
what do you feel? That was the point.
I don't know. If somebody raped the dead body of a loved one of mine, I would be a little disturbed. I'll give you that.
What if they raped your corpse?
so.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't care, but you couldn't care.
Like,
is
would
what I'm
I
getting
care
at.
now
Right.
that in the future my corpse would be raped?
Right.
Correct.
Depends on if it's a she or a he and how good looking she
It's
is.
a he.
What? It's fucking George Costanza looking motherfucker sweating
Oh,
all over you. That guy.
Yeah, I'm disturbed, but only because
Balls
I feel
to
like
booty.
my corpse could do better.
You could bowl better.
Yeah.
You didn't work this hard in life to have George Costanza dibble your corpse.
Yeah, this ugly mook. I don't think that's valid though for the relatives to matter, because let's say
No, that does. Why doesn't that not? That's
because if
I feel like they have ownership of that body.
whoa,
Like they inherit them.
didn't know we're going back to those times.
No, like when you die, you give your possessions to your relatives, right? You'll give it to your wife
Legally,
or something,
yeah.
and I feel like they get your body. It's like a thing you leave to them. Like it's their responsibility to do something with it. Maybe it's rape. You know what? If the main person that inherits your estate rapes the body, no problem.
Okay,
no problem.
but
That's their fucking body.
If
Alright,
I
You're
fucked,
not gonna get my shit.
let's say you had.
Chloe doesn't want me to rape her body. That is such a weird
What is
topic
marriage
now.
for?
Okay, but let's say
Don't worry.
your whatever, one of your relatives dies, and I happen upon their possession of a fleshlight, and I fuck that. Is that going to be illegal too? Like, why does it matter what I fuck of yours?
Technically, yeah. You can't just take somebody's thing and jizz on it.
I don't know.
I mean,
That
I'm
might
not
be
saying it's the
vandalism.
biggest crime in the
Vandalism.
world,
That
but
might
you
be
just
vandalism.
You don't tell me where I can
jizz. Just take a book I'm reading on the subway and just jizz on it and be like, here you go.
That's a nice newspaper you got there.
I was reading that.
It's disturbing.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious of what the penalties are for necrophilia.
Yeah.
We've probably looked into this before.
I feel like this is familiar.
Yeah, we did.
That's our MO.
It wasn't a felony, though, was it?
That's our MO.
No. This is why Corey became the
yeah, that's right.
Because
he had to look it up.
Because he knew what it was off the top of his head.
That's right.
He knew what
literally
it was.
had it up.
And that's why
I looked it up before, so I knew what kind of trouble I could get into.
He had it like bookmarked on his phone or something.
Yeah, and that was a little disturbing that he knew off the top of his head. Because he wanted to know what sort of trouble he was going to get into.
Well, in my opinion on all this, I don't give a fuck what you do with the dead bodies. I don't care what you do with my dead body. You can fucking tie me up on a flagpole, make me like one of those inflatable arm flailing guys to sell cars. You can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I'm a pile of atoms already, and once my electrons in my brain stop working, I'm just that much more of a worthless pile of atoms.
But, okay, I grant you that, but the question is, in society in general, if somebody does die, and the main executor of their estate doesn't want the body to be raped by random people, and a random person rapes that body.
Is it rape, though?
Person should be punished?
Is the term rape to be used?
Okay, let's get rid of the word rape. He fucks it. He fucks the dead body.
He makes love to it,
sir. Do
you
want that person to be punished in some way? Do you think the executor of that will, the inheritor, whatever it is, should have some right, Can
you own a dead body, though?
I think legally you do.
Yes, you definitely
do.
Yeah.
You legally own a body?
Yes.
You have to do something with it.
Yeah, if somebody dies, some random Joe off the street can go, no,
I put my flag in it.
That's just, they're going to be like, no, it's going to be that person. He gets to decide
I put my flag in it, though.
So,
it's mine.
I think you did that. So if your brother died, you really liked your brother, and you affect your own brother's corpse, that's fine? Because it's your brother's corpse? No.
Yes. I do think so.
Hey!
I think if you inherited it, if it's...
Now those you can add in post.
Essentially your corpse, rape away.
So you're only for incestual necrophilia.
I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying you're allowed to.
Let's get that on the record. Nick is for incestual necrophilia. That's the platform he's running on.
If a stranger comes and rapes the body that you inherited... That's different. That's like vandalizing your property. But I feel like there's an extra penalty because it's like something that's special to you, sentimental. Like, there's also special laws for like Grand Theft Auto because it's something you rely on.
Well, cars are really expensive. We have to have a punishment for that.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's like you rely on that for your everyday life, right? So they want to discourage it even more. And... I really just don't think this topic comes up enough.
Somehow it comes up a lot with us.
Really likes discussing it.
Okay.
Slow new days.
Somewhere necrophilia finds a way in there.
So what if I put in my will that I want people, like you can come, it's a free sign up, you can come desecrate my body anytime.
Emphasis on that.
Yeah, How do they deal with that in the books? Is that, legal?
Huh.
Can you do that?
It depends.
I think so. I don't know.
Well, no, because your last wishes couldn't be, I want to kill all the Jews.
It's in my will, though.
No. His last wishes, I want my corpse to be raped.
Well, sure.
Why is it always rape?
I'm saying.
I just said I want it to be.
Fucked,
I'm just saying, your last will or your last wishes or whatever, they don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's the person that...
They don't have to. I'm just saying...
the main person is.
If let's say they did, I set this up in my will. Nick's like, okay, Zach wants to be gang raped as a corpse. All right, let's get this set up. how do you?
But
is
it's
that
illegal. Necrophilia is illegal. So, yeah. Dang.
Damn, there goes all my wishes.
Technically,
Should it be? No. I don't
he
give a
had a plan, Harry. He had a
I had
plan.
my hopes and dreams.
You didn't work
And
this
here you are
hard.
just crushing.
You didn't work this hard to not get gang raped after you die.
All my corpse hopes and dreams. I guess that makes sense. That
I do think in society there is just essentially, even if there's no moral breach, there's punishment for just being creepy. You know?
Is there?
for certain things, yeah.
Come on.
How do you get a...
If there's a guy that you know rapes corpses, let's say he gets all the let's say it's legal and he gets all the permissions, and you know that he loves to rape corpses.
Go nuts, man.
Are you gonna hang out with this guy? Are you gonna be best buddies?
That's not the question.
No. That is a question.
I would not.
Would you
He's
be
saying you're
friends with
punished
a guy that rapes
society
corpses?
for being a weirdo,
So
whether or
there's
not through any
analogy,
legal means.
right?
You're punished through
The
social
person that
means.
you
Yeah.
hang out with is what they are, reflects who you are. Just like if you have one sock that stinks, there's no reason to not suspect another one also stink. Right?
So if you hang out with a guy that rapes corpses, I'm thinking he probably rapes corpses. That's
Guilty
the
by
thing with
association.
But no, really, I think that's a question. Would you hang out with a person, if it were legal, that rapes corpses?
Probably not.
I'm sorry, Zach, has sex with corpses.
Thank you. Why is it always rape, man?
Can we use diddle?
Can we use diddle the corpse?
This is consensual.
I like that.
Consensual corpse sex.
Probably not. I mean, we just don't see eye to eye on that regard.
So, no. So you have that. I disapprove of what you do in some sense.
I ain't judging the guy.
Sounds like you're
well,
judging the
okay,
guy.
but you won't hang out with them. That's a
Do I
judgment
have to
of
be
sorts.
fucking
is
best
it
friends
not?
with everyone?
But that is a judgment.
No. Let's say he's the funnest guy you've ever met in your life. You love everything about him, but he has sex with corpses.
If Robin Williams has sex with corpses, I would probably still be friends with Robin Williams because his pros outweigh the cons.
There's some accounting.
You got me.
Moral accounting.
But it's a con. It's a con.
It's a strike against you.
It strikes nobody. It hurts no one, but you believe it's a con.
Only because, like what you said, the society we live in would also judge me. And I'm a coward, so I will hide behind society in that regard.
Alright. What I was trying to get at is if you do believe it's a con, then the rest of society just believes it in more of it being bad.
Yeah,
it's not a difference in quality, it's a difference in quantity. They believe it's even more bad than you do, but you also believe it's bad. But if that's your position,
I guess what I'm saying is
that you're only there.
There is nothing. This is going to be taken out of context. There is nothing inherently wrong with necrophilia, in the sense that no one gets hurt.
Zach, let's get that.
That's getting cut.
In the sense that no one gets hurt. It is wrong, quotes, because of society. We deem it wrong because we have traditions, because we have sentiment of life. But there's nothing inherently wrong with it. But there is something inherently wrong with killing someone. You're obviously thinning out a population that goes against your evolutionary needs to, perpetuate the species.
Do you think back in the Viking days or whatever days, wherever they had cultures where they burn bodies, where they already, that is the end thing, where they desecrate the body as the ritual, necrophilia was as bad of a thing?
You gonna fuck a pile of ash?
No, I'm saying before you set it to fire, if somebody fucked the corpse, would they consider that as bad in that society?
I think it would always be considered as bad. People have an inherent disgust thing.
Well,
right?
different cultures are different. I don't know if necrophilia is a cross-culture negative thing.
No. It's like the same idea as just taking a bath in shit. It's disgusting.
Well, sure.
Maybe there's a small percentage of people, but no, it's pretty gross.
There could be a culture where that's what you do to a dead body.
The corpse stinks. And it's visually
But
unpleasing.
there's evolutionary things to tell you not to take piles of baths and shit. It'll literally make you sick. It will kill you.
There's evolutionary things to not tell you not to screw a corpse. No baby's going to come from that. I guarantee you that.
Social experimental with it. You're fucking your wife.
Okay.
Let's not say that because your wife's literally in the room. Some guy is fucking his wife. His wife has a heart attack and dies mid-fucking. She's now dead. You haven't finished yet. You don't know she's dead. You keep going. Are you a necrophiliac? She's dead. You fucked a dead body.
Necrophilia is
a
want to fuck dead bodies.
Yeah,
necrophilia, of course.
When we're talking necrophilia, we're assuming knowledge.
Okay,
So
it's not necrophilia that way.
So it boils it down like how long the corpse is. Like, is it still warm? Is it become stiff? Is it already bloated?
No, I think it's a knowledge thing. If you know it's dead and you keep going, it's a little creepy. You're like, well, I'm getting this over with. I'm sorry, I need to finish. Like, that's a little creepy to me.
I didn't work this hard for this long not to finish.
So how can you tell, like, just like you're in the middle of it and then someone's passing out, like, is this person just passing out, lost consciousness, or this person is actually dead? I assume, like, if you have a heart attack, you're you pass out, maybe I don't know, maybe like your face turned purple.
Yeah, you can't take the pulse in the middle of fuck. That kind of takes the wind out of the sail.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. You gotta make sure you're still alive.
Still
pulse.
there, baby?
Just checking.
Blink twice if I'm rocking your world.
Good God. I think there might be an issue if you're having sex with somebody you can't tell they've died in the middle of the sex.
You could be doing it wrong.
Yeah, it might be some issues.
That's true. Your sex life must be
very
terrible.
good.
Normally, it's always an Ambien right before sex, so sometimes.
Yeah, like,
take this volume.
Well, she never moved before anyways. Like, it's... Okay.
Baby, bust out the ether. Let's get weird.
I'd also like to point out that our previous discussion, we took 24 minutes for about 4 topics, and it's almost 20 minutes just on necrophilia.
Hey.
We're talking about priorities.
Yeah, I mean, come on. This is the Discourse's bread and butter right here. I really do want to, at some point, market our podcast as the Necrophilia podcast and see how many hits we can get.
Is this our target audience now? The 10 people in the world that fuck corpses?
Well, we can't. We keep alienating them.
I don't think most of them are as fun as Robin Williams.
Can't if we keep alienating them. We're gonna lose our market.
We're gonna lose our niche.
I'm sorry. We're both very accepting of necrophilia culture.
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 They got a community.
Do they have T-shirts and shit?
Yes.
T-shirt.
Yes, bones
the one
about
thing
it.
that I don't really understand, right? Like, you read all those blog posts or like some shit from Quora where people say like, I don't really enjoy having sex with my wife because she has no response. You know, like, people complain about that. Like, they want a response where you're having sex with something, right?
Okay.
However, what do you think the corpse is going to do? Absolutely no response.
What if you're a ventriloquist?
Why do people not complain about it?
Throw in the voice for the corpse as you fuck it. Throw in some moans in there.
A ventriloquist could make it, work, really.
This is like a whole thing. A whole ritual.
It is a very niche market.
Yeah. We're really targeting basically maybe one person in the whole entire world at this point.
We got you, Daryl.
We got
I hope his name's Daryl.
Daryl. Please call him.
Harry knows him, apparently.
No pulse, no problem. That's the tagline of
No problem. Are you campaigning?
I actually think we want to narrow our Discourse audience to not just necrophiliacs, but ventriloquist necrophiliacs.
You have to have both.
It's not that different from, like, I don't know, there's a thing where you get your hand to fall asleep and then you jerk off to make it feel different. It's like you throw the voice to make it feel like
wait a
it's
second.
alive.
There might be something to ventriloquists, though, because do you think like there's ventriloquists that kind of do sexual things with their puppet? Or their dummy, I should say.
Sure, there's a few.
I think the splinters on your dick would prevent you, right?
No, I don't...
Well, what if it's a silicone puppet?
Yeah, you can have it. You don't have to have a wooden... This isn't...
Throw that
the
bad boy in the
1700s
microwave,
here.
good to go. Your hand's already up its ass. You're already a second baseman.
You already got a little weird thing going on there.
I don't know, that might be... Or, you know what? Ventriloquists might actually have sex with their wives and then, imitate their wife's voice during it. Like, oh, baby, you're so good.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that. Oh my god, that dick's huge!
Man, could you imagine having sex with a ventriloquist? Like,
no. Jeff Dunham is a ventriloquist.
Like, you...
Or two ventriloquists having sex.
They do each other's voice. The ventriloquist orgy would be very interesting.
It's actually only like two people, and then they made it sound like
It always sounds like an orgy. Dude, there's gotta be, so that this has had to happen.
That is one... Okay, that is one of the... What is a profession? Alright, let's say no one's married here, no one has a girlfriend. You get a one-night stand with someone. It's the hottest, most attractive person you've ever met in your life. Things are getting hot and heavy. Mm-hmm. You start foreplay. You start to get into it, just about to have sex. What profession would they have to say for your boner to just shrink and go right back up in your body? I think ventriloquist is up there.
No, that's not the biggest though. I would bang a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
I would be. That's kind of weird. It would definitely hurt.
It would hurt a little bit.
It would hurt you mentally.
It would hurt the erection. It would be harder to maintain.
It wouldn't go away immediately.
I thought about a good one. You know those people who put on makeups for the
mortician.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call them necrophilia.
Yes. That's definitely drops.
I just had another random thought.
What?
But if you were having sex with a ventriloquist, I just want to, I would be tempted to be like, oh shit, you're a ventriloquist? Hold on. I'm going to get my dick in just over the hole. Make it talk. That might be a turn on, I'm not sure.
I have another thought. I think I would want to fuck a ventriloquist. Okay, let's say you're fucking a ventriloquist. They start sucking your dick, and then they drink a glass of water, and then they start saying, "Oh, come all you faithful."
Yeah, that is a new take on an old trick. Dick in mouth.
That is good. That is good.
Get Pornhub on the line.
We got a new fetish.
Get Mr. Pornhub in here.
Alright, new tag.
But I still want to think of a profession that I actually would not sleep with. Is there one you would definitely not sleep with or let?
Nazi. I'm a professional Nazi.
What's that?
He gets paid. Hey, I think Hitler got paid.
No one applies for a bank loan and they're like, "What's your profession?" I'm a Nazi.
I went to.
Where do you?
I got my PhD in Nazism.
How do you get paid? Yeah,
I had to go to 7 years of medical school.
A juggalo.
A person that specializes in homeopathic
Oh,
medicine might...
Because they wouldn't use protection.
Yeah.
At least one that worked.
That might... Yeah, exactly.
Astrologist.
That would stop me. I'm taking birth control, but it's just water.
That'd be interesting as fuck.
An astrologist? No, probably not.
Yeah.
If that's their profession, their profession is astrology.
You want to fuck like a psychic or something?
No.
Oh, come on. They'd be into some weird shit.
Then you could be like, baby, you didn't know it would
They
be
would
this
be like
bad,
looking at
did
the
you? I
veins
don't
on your
believe
dick
in
and
you
telling you how
anymore.
long you have to live.
I'll be like, I'm coming. She's like, I know you're going.
I've foreseen this.
I have foreseen this.
But none of those are very morbid, though. It's sort of interesting, right? In a way.
Mm-hmm. What's your standards, Chloe?
Homeless person.
That's
It's not a profession.
That's exactly the lack of the profession.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Homeless.
Professional
Yeah,
panhandler.
you're right. Anything that stinks.
I don't know. When you
That's
preface
real
it with they're super sexy and you're already into it, when they announce a profession, that's not going to get rid of the boner.
I think it could.
I can't think of a profession that's going to just really get rid of the woody. What?
She's head of the RNC.
Even better.
No. If they say homeopathic medicine, I've got to think, like,
Like
how could you? Why? Like, it's just going to trigger that isn't doing the thinking anymore.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
But the thing, right? Like when you have a huge erection going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't think that much, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yet, here's the thing, Chloe.
What?
Do you think women's... Okay, there's no erection. But do you think women have a much higher standard? And in that, it's like, I work in the mailroom, and that's already a no.
Oh, wow. Well, I think it's something that you gotta differentiate, right? It's just like Harry said, it's, that's one night stand and not like something that you're going to do.
That's a good point, yeah.
Right?
I have already objectified these people.
But so, one night stand, you have the same basic standards as a man is in
me
basically
personally, no.
almost anything.
Absolutely not. You got a pulse, we're going for it.
No. Well, like, it's the criteria is so different, right? Like, for the one night stand, you don't really care where this person works. Like, you don't really care what kind of situation it's in, but, like, number one criteria has to be attractive, right?
Okay, what if he's the most handsome man...
And he's gay.
And he's gay.
No. The most handsome man you've ever seen.
Mostly gay.
And you ask him what he does, and he's like,
That's just like a farmer.
Wash your hands, baby. Let's go.
I shovel shit for a living.
Very good question. Does he stink?
Follow your nose.
Follow the nose. That's actually a good question. With just the smell would matter.
I'm trying to think of what the most...
And then that guy just like outside the room just does it in the,
Okay.
air fresheners.
What about this? Okay.
What?
He says he's a male prostitute on the receiving end, but he's not
Damn.
for you.
He's
No.
No?
No.
Come on! He's the most handsome man you've ever seen, but he's a male prostitute and he receives.
No, you get a high probability of contract.
Oh, yeah, please.
No, he has a condom.
He's a
wearing a
professional.
condom.
He's a professional.
He has, in that profession, you have STDs that go through the condom.
Acid.
The old acidic STD.
Don't
has
you know
tests.
the gays just
He has
ejaculate
tests.
acid?
No
What
STDs.
happens?
No STDs.
No, still no.
But yeah, he's been cummed in more times than you ever in your entire life.
No, just having the Neo thought
He's
that
forgotten
he's
about more
receiving
dicks than you
one.
remember.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
fact that he's been with the other guys, it's like very off-putting, man.
See, so there's a more different.
Yeah,
That's a standard.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, you're doing better than that. So you got that going for you.
Bars been set high.
Your expectation.
Nick. Well, if hypothetically,
Uh-huh.
right? If that's really attractive dyke,
Mm-hmm.
would you sleep with her?
Yeah, probably.
See,
I
here's
don't
a
know.
lower standard.
No, I don't. Come on, you're not going to
Yeah,
sleep with
absolutely.
an attractive lesbian.
That increases attraction, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
yeah,
we have
exactly. Yeah, that's why men and women are
Well,
different.
no, hold on.
Les-
Even she, the
Butcher.
butcher,
No,
she wears a
he's-
strap on.
No, she's not going to fuck me.
Oh,
as
no,
long
no,
as I'm
she
still
will.
doing the fucking.
Well, we're going
now
in.
that's
Pegging is a
enough.
different
Hold on, yeah.
situation
But if
here.
she
We got some-
is the
we got
most
some wiggle
butch
room.
lesbian in the world.
Harry has a different situation going on there.
Yeah. I'm easy.
How hot is she? I don't know.
Pretty hot.
Okay, so would you rather?
Yeah, I like these guys.
Would you have to fuck a dead
Okay.
corpse? Male dead corpse. Male
Yeah,
dead
that's
corpse,
really big
or
to
get
say no
pegged
to.
by a dyke.
To choose that one.
Is this for Nick?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you would obviously just.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, a tough question, Nick.
How fresh is the
10 hours.
corpse?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know in corpse.
I thought that was relatively quick.
Yeah.
That's cooled down, man.
Okay, you're on the beach.
First is pretty fast.
No, it's got to be a little cold. It's
They're
gotta,
Alright.
you got to have a little bit of the cold.
You gotta feel the
It's
steel.
not that corpse.
Even still, I don't know. I would still say...
Hey,
Got
I don't know. I just can't do
Okay.
it.
You betrayed your standards, sir.
What
No,
did you guys?
I'd
Would
get
you
pegged.
guys choose
Absolutely.
the corpse?
Am I the only one picking corpse?
Whoa!
Zach?
Oh, we're getting pegged?
You're
Yeah.
picking
Oh,
corpse?
come
Whoa,
on.
dude.
I did not
You
see that
prude.
coming. 10 hours.
Prude! Look who's not fucking the corpse. You goddamn prude.
We also, Zach, we didn't say, but it's a really ugly corpse.
I said it was
She
a
wasn't
he.
Getting anybody
Yeah, he said it was a
alive.
How
man.
do you know it's a she?
Oh Jesus, you're gonna fuck
I can
a
close my
dead
eyes and
male
pretend.
corpse?
When I got a big
Sorry,
old
10
dildo up
hours.
my ass, I can't pretend anything else is happening.
I can see Zach's point
Yeah.
of view.
Any
Like,
hole-
it's just a hole.
any hole's a goal.
It's just a
my
hole.
motto.
Just don't think about it. It's a hole. But if something's going in,
Yeah. You
somewhere
can't
it's not
stop
supposed to go
thinking.
in, you
You can't go to your happy place there.
Yeah, like there's no.
Unless that is your happy place.
Yeah, I'm getting pegged.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Zach's actually making
Slowly converting.
I don't even know which hole they're sticking in.
Yeah, it's actually. I'm really.
Oh,
on the
you're
edge
edging too?
now,
You're into
but
edging?
Just
You don't know what edging is?
what? What?
Okay.
No, that's edging
No,
is a
is
thing.
that a
Oh, yeah.
real thing,
So,
or are you making this shit
It's
up?
when it's a gay thing, but it could be a solo thing too. It's so when you're jerking yourself off or someone else off, and you get them to
Oh, I
the
didn't
point
know that.
almost to climax, and then you stop, and then you let it stew, and then you do it again. Get almost there, and then
Get them
stop.
to the edge of climax multiple times
Yeah.
to drive them nuts.
Well, that's
Sounds
kind
like
of
almost
the appeal of
torture.
it.
It's like a tease torture, I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah.
I just strong arm a hoe.
I don't know it because it's not something I would
You're
ever
starting to
consider.
Yeah, edging isn't something I understand, but I guess I could see how people would be into it. I would just be mad. I'd be like, wait.
I got shit to do. I'm an adult now. I ain't got time for that shit.
We got time for this.
Yeah, exactly. I get to the edge and then they stop. I'm going over the edge
Go
myself.
give them a harump and
finishing
then turn
this
around and do it yourself.
You're gonna Louis C.K. him?
Pick up the phone, baby.
We need another would you rather on that. That was a good one.
Yeah, that you actually. I did not think you were going to come up with that. Where I was like, maybe for fucking a corpse. I thought, obviously. I'm not going to choose that one.
So, let's see. Would you rather walk in on somebody fucking a relative of yours?
I've done that already.
Wait, what?
I've done that before.
That sounds awful.
I've walked in on my brother having sex.
Oh, okay. Let's do better one. It could be better.
Would you rather? So start with like screwing your mom, but it's not your dad.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
I thought you said you're screwing.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said. Like, whoa.
No. You walk in on
Your
somebody
mother,
screwing
that isn't your father. Okay.
your
Okay.
mother, and it's not your father,
Oh, okay.
or
You
Give me
set
an
this
or.
up, man.
it's close. Oh shit! I don't. No, I'm trying to correct
okay.
the
I
previous
see.
What were you
relative.
going
Make
to say?
it
I'm
more
trying to make it
intense.
actually worse.
I was thinking as
Right.
I was saying those.
Yeah.
God, okay.
Okay.
Would you rather be forced to watch your grandparents' sex tape or hear your parents' voice on the other side of a glory hole?
Watch grandparents.
You have to watch it.
As in, I'm in the glory hole.
You hear your parents' voice on the other side of a glory hole. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely watching that sex tape. I'm sorry, there's no way I'm picking the other one. It's not
Okay,
even close.
but you have to take a Viagra while you watch that video
Little did
and
you know.
finish.
Little did you know your grandparents are into bestiality.
Still going with that tape. Still going with that tape.
Oh God.
Come on, are you guys choosing the other one?
Dad?
This one isn't.
What are you doing, Dad?
Oh shit, that was on It's Always Sunny, actually. It's Always Sunny. That happened in an episode.
Frank is his dad. Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, they didn't actually go through with it, but he was expecting something.
Okay, so that brings up another point: bestiality.
Okay.
What's the morality on that? Because the animal is alive but can't consent technically.
Then yes, there's no consent.
Yeah.
And you could cause harm.
Oh, wait.
But what if the consent is it's like?
What if everyone knows that dog is
How's that work,
Wait.
dude? How's that work?
that old slut, Duke?
A whore by our human standards. No, because you could cause harm to the dog. Or whatever you're fucking. You could fuck it up, literally.
That's true. I like how we were more quick to be like, no, bestiality,
I
absolutely.
want to see if I can make it
I
work.
feel like,
though.
well,
I value animal life more than human.
So okay.
So, yeah.
The dog is a really big dog, with like a Great Dane, so you're not going to hurt it. Or the person's not going to hurt it, okay?
or just why did it have to be dog?
Yeah,
Why
it's an animal.
Just pick an animal that's not going to be hurt.
That
Right?
it's fine. No, but I wanted to keep dog for the explicit purpose that afterward it's still really friendly with me. Like it's accepting.
Well, you sure
Because dogs are really
It's,
friendly.
Wait,
Stockholm
hold
syndrome?
on. You sure the dog looked the same way to you
He gave
as
it Stockholm
before?
syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I value
No,
animals
still
more than
no.
humans. No. Most humans.
Most humans.
I value my friends. But if...
But Johnny down the street can go fuck himself.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
okay, let's... Wait. So, there's a fire
Okay.
in a building. You run in because you hear both a puppy barking and a baby
Okay.
crying. You
No,
save
okay.
the puppy?
But that's just for the
But
newspapers.
is that only because societal expectations?
I would say my human instincts would probably kick in, and I would probably save the baby over the dog
Okay.
without me choosing. But
What if it's
But
an
okay,
adult
but here's the thing.
versus a puppy?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Not just an adult, but, okay, you're, I think, a Democrat. You see a guy with a Trump supporter, or a Make America Great Again hat. He's passed out unconscious. And then there's a dog. You're saving the
no,
dog.
I'm saving the human. I mean, this is life or death. What you're talking
still.
about here? We went from fucking something
Still.
to saving a life. Yeah, the human lives longer. I mean, I guess logically, the human would be more sense to me.
Okay. Does it change anything if you also know that guy's a necrophiliac?
What if he fucks dead dogs?
Oh God!
Yeah.
Necrophiliac bestiality.
Yeah. What if the dog had just been raped by that human that you go into the building to save?
That's awfully specific, man.
I know,
The dog
this is a
fucked
really
up,
odd
and he
scenario.
crossed the line. Yeah.
At that point,
is
the dog
no
gets
good
saved.
In my book.
Oh God!
But if he was a necrophiliac,
Yeah,
you're
I
still
guess
going
they
for the
don't shoot
the
a
person.
There's a second chance.
Oh man!
Trick question. It was a new Hitler the whole time. Damn it.
You fucked up. Should have said the dog.
Yeah.
What?
What if I saved Hitler too?
The sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 million wasn't. Oh god, I'm sorry. I said 6 million wasn't enough.
What?
I apologize.
So what
All
other
right,
sexual
I think we've really
deviances can
mined
we
the
get
depths
into?
of necrophilia and bestiality for this discourse.
Maybe we should try something else.
Yeah, is there anything worse than bestiality and necrophilia?
I think rape.
I don't know.
Anything else would be more embarrassed by.
Might be
Rape.
top of the list.
I don't know. So if you think there's people in prison, and one's a necrophiliac.
Is this a joke? Is this set up?
One's a rapist, and one's a
necrophiliac.
No. That does sound like a setup, right? A rapist and a dog fucker are in prison together.
The rapist.
The rapist.
Absolutely.
Which one's getting the shit beat out of them first?
Yeah.
No contest.
You think it's the rapist? No, I'm not. No. These are your judgments. What do you think the
rapist?
judgment
The rapist.
of the
I think the other ones are
society?
just
'Cause I don't
avoided.
think that yours generally.
Yeah, because they're just
Think so?
weird.
They'll get outcast. They'll get
Yeah.
made fun of and bullied. However, bullying works in prison. But the rapist.
Give me your
he's
lunch
fucked.
money.
Yeah.
Rapist is getting fucked. One more ways than one, probably.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a child rapist, you probably won't last a week.
I was about
Okay.
to say, wait, in prison, is it like rapists are treated harsher, or is it just kid diddlers?
From what I've read, rapists in general are treated worse.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't know. Not up on my...
But if you diddled a kid, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Unless you got that Subway money, you're
You got that
fucked.
Subway money.
My money.
That's actually a good question.
Get a prisoner in here. Get him on the line.
Yeah. Let's ask Jared. If he knows any
Someone
necrophiliacs.
shove a phone up their pussy and go in fucking prison. To get
Why would Jared know the necrophiliacs? Are you thinking kid diddling and necrophiliacs that are all in the same
go hand in
rings?
hand.
I guess.
Yeah.
All of
You
them
could
have
get
chat.
Bundle them
child
together.
dead children.
Oh, man.
So, like, maybe they do kind of cross lines. They're like, hey, we got a fresh one.
Oh, good lord. What is happening with this?
I'm just saying, they might actually mix. They might have communities.
Man, humanity's sunk into a new low.
We are always going to a new low every discourse, really.
Just when you thought we couldn't go any lower.
Yeah. What I really like is the title of the podcast, Discourse of Human Events. Sounds so
Yes, that's the...
intellectual and above. And it's really just the worst, dumbest shit
That's why I love
you
it.
could possibly imagine.
It's the
Who talked in
stream.
necrophilia? The
It's
two
the
bread
stream
and butter
of
topics.
consciousness of people with no conscience. Hey, that's a good tagline. You should use that.
But when you think about it, human events, if you really want to go down to human events, it really does come down a lot of times to deviance and sex and poop and all those things.
And our audio kept screwing up at this point, so we just ended the podcast.
I wanna know